design. Welcome to Make and Take Tuesday and day 4 of Christmas in July 2022. I apologize for my voice. I'm recovering from a rather nasty summer cold, so I've got a little residual congestion, but I'm feeling fine, so no worries. All right, so for today, I've got a really fun card folio. I wanted to do something a little bit different from the standard. I have this gorgeous new die from Spellbinders. This is from their Stitchmas Christmas collection, and this is the stitched ornament die. This is large. This is about 3.5 by about 4. I want to say it's about 4.5, 4 3/4 for the outer frame. So there's my hand, and there's the die. You can see it's good sized. And these are designed with all these little perforations so that you can actually, if you love to do stitching as well as paper crafting, you can combine those two into one. But you can also use it without stitching, as I will show you. So this has the outer frame. It has the inner detail part, this little bell cap, this gorgeous filigree detail, and these really pretty foliage bits that come with it. It's a lovely die. And I didn't set out to make anything this grand. I was just going to make a simple slim line, and then my imagination just kind of took off with me, and off we went. I was working with scraps from Stamperia's Blue Land collection. This is literally all I have left, so I can't even show you the rest of it. But this is a beautiful paper collection, and so pretty for Christmas and winter if you like a sort of a blue Christmas theme, or even just blue winter cards. It's quite gorgeous. And I had to piece things all together here. So I'll go ahead by telling you how I put this little trifold together. I started out with one sheet of 11 by 8.5 paper, and I scored it at 3 and at 8.5. So I had these two short panels. This is the original bit of paper here. And then, of course, I could add a pocket. The piece in the middle is 5.5 inches. So 3, 8.5, those are your score lines. And then to make the cover, I cut a piece of white glitter cardstock to 4.5 by 8.5. And I glued this over the 3-inch flap just by putting adhesive on the bottom and the top and the side. And then what this created was this nifty little pocket over here. All right, we'll look at that more closely in a moment. So I had lots of bits and bobs of this paper, so I paper pieced. And you can kind of see, if you look closely, there are 3 separate pieces on this front panel. And what I did was I just laid them down. I put a little dot of adhesive in the center of each piece, and then I stitched them onto another piece of this blue cardstock, and then matted that on the 4.5 by 8.5 inch panel of white glitter. And this creates this really beautiful trifold, almost like a triptych. It really is almost like a triptych. So here's a look at the different ornaments done different ways. As you can see, I did not stitch. I did my stitching on the card, not on the ornaments. I've cut the foliage pieces from scraps of my colored designer paper and from scraps of the white glitter to give it this really frosty, wintry appearance. It's really beautiful in person. I hope the camera is picking that up. So on these blue pieces that I cut out of my patterned paper, I lightly inked with a sponge dauber around the outside edges and faded jeans distress ink. And then for the blue, I used the white filigree piece just for contrast. And then I added the Spellbinders Essential Gems to add that little bit of sparkle. I like that, and this is way easier than stitching. However, if you like to stitch, you just stitch them. So there's all kinds of tutorials and things online showing you how to do that. But I wanted you to see how pretty these are just with the perforations there. This one I reversed. I did the blue on the background and the white glitter on the top. It's quite striking. And then I laid these out, and you can see I kind of created a an S curve here just to kind of make everything be balanced. And then popped these up on foam tape and laid them out on my background. This is a little birdie Nancy Shabby Chic Moonlight, and this ribbon is Really Reasonable Ribbon French Blue. And you can see how I've tucked the foliage bits into my flower cluster, really pretty, along with some metallic iridescent string. So that's the cover. So we open this up, and first we have this little short flap over here. There were all these circular images that I had left. I had lots of images, but not a lot of paper. So again, you can see I've paper pieced here. There's actually paper piecing back behind this image that you can't see because I've covered it up. And then I used these foliage bits to make this look intentional here, almost like this is the capstone of a column and these are flowing down from it. Just little ways to make your paper go further. You flip this open and this whole panel is just pieced together. This is actually part of this cover art that I cut out and used here. This is another circular piece, and but it doesn't look pieced together. It looks really good. That's the trick. Here I used created a pocket, and I added gussets to the back to save paper. Another one of our circular Christmas roses with this beautiful floral foliage coming out from behind it. And then in the pocket, I created a little gift ensemble. This is kind of a fun, since it's too hot in July to ship chocolate, I stitched up a quick little bookmark with more of the foliage pieces and one of my favorite sentiment stamps. These are sadly retired. You can't get them anymore, but I love this saying for a bookmark. It's so appropriate. And then I also had these postcard images that I just scored in between them to create a little mini folio. So you could add photos in here, you could put recipes in here, you could write notes in there. And then here's another postcard here. Such pretty, pretty images. I really like this collection. I'm sad that it's gone. And then I made a little ornament. This is so cute and so easy to do. I just created another die cut, set of die cuts, layered it up with foam tape on one of these foam circles. To the cap, I strung this silver embroidery floss through the little top and then added a bow of my French blue and a flower. And it's really sweet. You could hang this on a doorknob. You could hang this on your tree. You could hang it on a dresser knob. Very sweet. So that's the little gift ensemble that goes in this large pocket. And of course, if you wanted to, you could also add in a gift card or whatever other little treats you wanted to put inside. I kept everything on the flat side because I didn't score any spines into this one. This is just a straight up like triptych. Then over here, I've used a bunch of the little tags to create a mini waterfall. I just scored it 3 inches across the top and folded, and you can see how the top of the tag becomes the tab for the waterfall. So that's really sweet. You could add a little note behind each one, a little tiny photo behind each one, or just enjoy looking at the pretty images in paper. And then in this pocket that we created, you can see this is paper pieced, right? But it doesn't look weird or anything. It looks really good. Here's another one of the circle images and another one. These, you could write notes on the back, put photos on the back. And then here's a little envelope that I cut out from the paper collection. It's like a little faux envelope. And just folded this and tucked that in there for the same thing. I think this would be a great sized pocket. You could actually add recipe cards in here if you wanted to, or photos in there. It's fairly deep, so it will hold a lot. But that is the project. I wanted you to see this pretty, pretty new die from Spellbinders and give you some ideas for how to use it, as well as an idea for a not so traditional colored Christmas card. I will not have a tutorial this Throwback Thursday. This thing hit me pretty hard, so I'm trying to rest up a little bit, get my feet back under me. But I have a lot more Christmas stuff coming. Christmas in July is going to drip over into August and even into September. So don't worry, there's more coming. I just need to kind of get my feet back under me and get back up and running. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a joyful and creative day. I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.